Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. With Bishop Airport improvements completed, work groups formed, and future plans itemized, the question remained, if we build it, will people use it? That piece fell into place with the draft phase two traffic study completed by Lee Fisher, indicating they probably will. Inyo County Public Works Director Clint Quilter summarized the highlights of the study at last Tuesday's Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting. The study concluded a letter of interest from Allegiant Air proposing two 156-seat A319 flights a week from Oakland, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. The letter also referred to the suggestion from community representatives that subsidies would be a possibility. But before the county launches into a three-phase project to ready the airport for passenger traffic, Quilter is getting a second opinion from additional consultants to verify the optimistic Lee Fisher draft. Now, the price tag on the build-out comes to $23 million, $20 million of which will come from the Federal Aviation Administration. Now, the rosy picture is based on a series of assumptions, basically that existing tourism, economic, etc. trends will continue their upswing. It was also based on the Mammoth Yosemite Airport continuing its current passenger operations. In other words, there's no real battle for the title of the Eastern Sierra Airport. Now, Quilter said this makes the numbers more robust. He's referring to what is a conservative estimate of splitting the tourists between two airports. Now, the numbers come with the caveat that all assumptions ring true and nothing bad happens. That being said, the study predicts operations and passengers quadrupling in a 4-year short term and continuing to rise over the next 17 years. Now, the discrepancy between the number of ski days at Mammoth Mountain, third behind Vail and Aspen, but ahead of Steamboat Springs, Telluride, Sun Valley, and others, and the number of those skiers who arrived by plane, Mammoth was a very feeble last, indicates a huge growth potential for both Mammoth and Bishop airports. Clint Quilter admitted to being pretty excited. He ran through the next steps. The forecast will be reviewed by the FAA. Staff will look at estimates and costs in addition to Airline and Transportation Safety Administration requirements. You can see more on Deb's story from the Inyo board posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, tomorrow, Tuesday, June 13th, the Inyo County Board of Supervisors will consider a proposal to increase the minimum rate that commercial trash haulers will be allowed to charge their residential and business customers. Matter will be taken up during a timed agenda tentatively scheduled for 1 p.m. Now, the proposed increase is primarily due to an adjustment to the fees charged to the haulers for disposing waste at county landfills. The proposal also allows haulers an increase in charges due to an increase in the consumer price index and allows for the recovery of a significant increase in diesel fuel tax to be implemented statewide this fall. Now, the proposed rate adjustment will raise the minimum charge for residential customers from $20.29 per month to $30.15 per month. The proposed rates for commercial customers reflect a similar adjustment. All interested parties are invited to comment on the proposal either in person at the Board of Supervisors meeting in Independence. Questions can be directed to Inyo County Recycling and Waste Management Office at 760-873-5577. Well, an afternoon seminar in Lee Vining on climate issues affecting the Eastern Sierra and all of us will be held this Thursday, 1 to 5 p.m., and that'll be taking place at the Mono Basin Scenic Area Visitor Center Theater in Lee Vining. This is free and open to the public, and if you're wondering what's up with a 5-year drought followed by an epic winter, well, an afternoon series of talks with local experts will focus on how the High Sierra is responding to a changing climate. Event sponsored by 350 Mono, local climate action group, in conjunction with the Mono Basin Bird Chautauqua. Complete schedule of events can be found at monoclimateaction.org. Deb Murphy filed a story noting that just about a year and a half ago, attorney Greg James updated the Inyo County Board of Supervisors on the possible resurrection of the Yucca Mountain Nuclear Waste Repository in Nye County, Nevada, 17 miles from the Inyo County line. Now, Nevada Senator Harry Reid, one of the loudest opponents of the project, had announced his retirement, while presidential candidate Hillary Clinton had indicated the project would stay on the shelf where it was carefully placed by then President Obama. James said without Reid, Congress could pass veto-proof funding for Yucca by including the funding in an overall funding bill. Congress didn't have to. The first President Trump budget includes $120 million to restart the licensing process. Now, the good news, however, is that nobody particularly likes the proposed budget, so all is not lost. Bad news, not being liked doesn't appear to be a deterrent for Congress. Deb Murphy continues, with the exception of job-hungry Nye County, Nevada hates the project that would accept nuclear waste transported from all over the country for the next 100 years and entombment. Inyo County hates it because that tomb is in the Amargosa River watershed that runs through or under Death Valley, Tecopa, and Shoshone. Politicians who love the project, according to an article in Forbes, generally come from states with a lot of nuclear waste waiting for a permanent home. Full story by Deb Murphy, also on SierraWave.net. Well, another suspect in a home invasion and robbery in Lone Pine was arrested last week. On June 6th, Jeffrey Barnes was arrested after a brief pursuit on an off-road motorcycle starting north of Fish Springs and ending south of Aberdeen. Barnes was taken into custody without injury and booked at the Inyo County Jail in Independence. Barnes was wanted in connection with a March 27 home invasion robbery in Lone Pine and had an outstanding felony warrant for robbery, burglary, and a conspiracy to commit a crime. Now, back on June 2nd, Oscar Alvarado and Emilio Orozco were taken into custody following a thorough investigation into the Lone Pine home invasion in March. Press release from the Inyo County Sheriff's Department notes the public's assistance is still requested in locating Mario Torres. Public is reminded that Torres should be considered armed and dangerous. Torres is described 29 years of age with black hair and brown eyes. Has a felony warrant for robbery, burglary, and conspiracy to commit a crime. Last known residence was Lone Pine. And last Monday, CHP Bishop Communications Center received a call from two female hikers who reported a solo white male on the Lower Rock Creek Trail without a shirt or shoes and had a disheveled look. Now, the person, later identified as Zachary Gene Brummett, a 25-year-old male from Bakersfield, matched the description of the suspect who was involved in a high-speed pursuit with Bishop CHP units on June 3rd. Multiple personnel from the Mono County Sheriff's Department, as well as Bishop CHP area office, responded to Lower Rock Creek Trail. Now, two personnel from the Mono County Sheriff's Department located the suspect just off the Lower Rock Creek Trail, about 3.5 miles from the bottom of the trail. With a CHP helicopter overhead, two Mono County deputies were able to take the suspect into custody. Additional personnel from Mono County Sheriff's Department, Bishop area CHP arrived on scene, and the press release notes that due to the subject being dehydrated and had suffered injuries to his feet, the CHP helicopter airlifted the suspect to a waiting deputy who transported him to Northern Inyo Hospital. Brummett was booked into Mono County Jail for multiple violations and an outstanding warrant. We'll be back with more news.